Ahoy there, trader, and welcome back. This is the Anti-Investor Swing Trading Podcast. So if your trading sucks, should you quit? I was asked this very question by one of my community members during our group accelerator call. How do you know if your trading strategy is not working or stopped working? If it's you that sucks, is it the market that sucks? When should you stop trading? So let's take a deep dive on the 3 questions that you need to ask to help figure this out. Hi, it's Phil. Welcome to the Anti-Investor Swing Trading Podcast, where we talk about swing trading stocks, stock options, and index futures. My goal is to help the next 1,000 traders become financially independent and retire early from the financial markets by providing the right tools to use, the rules to follow, and the software to assist you so that you don't make the same mistakes that I made. And from now on, I'll be your personal swing trading mentor to show you the way. So if you're ready, let's do this. Now, we've all had our fair share of nightmare trading periods where nothing works any of the time while the markets go on a tear without you, and all the while everyone around you seemingly has the Midas touch. Now, I've certainly had my fair share of cycles as well as the regular speed bumps and hiccups. And 3 big extremes for me spring to mind during the last 28 years, where each one has been a major learning point in my development as a trader. The most recent was just after the 2020 market crash, where I flipped from one of my better winning streaks to a slow, painful few months of ego-fueled stupidity. It did lead to the crystallization of 3 questions, which guided me through and out of an elongated and self-induced trader's worst nightmare. Now, I'm sure I'll go into a lot more detail about the experience. There's plenty of lessons to be learned from that you can benefit from. So make sure that you follow the podcast on one of your favorite players for automatic notifications. And if you find value in the podcast so far, please share it with 2 traders who need to hear this message so that I can reach the next 1,000 traders and help support them along their trading journey, just as I am doing for you right now. Alright then, where was I? Oh yeah, the 3 most important questions to ask yourself when you hit a rough patch are: is it me? Is it the markets? Is it the strategy? After riding the moves in 2020 in the crash all the way down, almost from top to bottom, I found myself in a less than ideal situation when my ego got the better of me, and my performance suffered dramatically as a result. I was left self-doubting myself, the strategy, and questioning my sanity. And it was these 3 questions that pulled me back onto the right track. Searching for answers to each of these questions will help guide me, and I trust that it will help guide you. So the first one, is it me? And let me start by saying that it usually is your fault. It certainly was my fault. Every time I've messed up, it was always my fault. Now, in my case, I thought I was smarter than my trading system, and I fell into an ego-driven, chest-thumping, let's trade my opinion that has nothing to do with the data or the realities of what was going on in the markets at that time. And I can laugh about it now looking backwards, but living in the moment, my ego did fuel some of the less desirable decisions. So that said, I was able to make correction that by making the harsh realization that it was me, and put my hands up and start to take corrective action. And that usually is you, the deviation from the strategy in the first place. Now, the second question, is it the markets or temporary market conditions? Now, most of the time, it's not the markets. It may be a temporary condition that's just not favorable for your style of trading. And not every market condition is right all of the time for any strategy. So because of this, and no one knows when these conditions are going to change, when they're going to stop, when they're going to start. So as such, I make it a habit to trade through periods of unfavorable market conditions, and trading small position size helps with this. And I've covered this in previous podcasts. So the last question, probably the most important question, is it the strategy? And this last time round, my answer was, I don't know. Now, I've been trading the same way or a variation of this most of my adult life, and this question really stumped me. I don't know if the strategy is doing what it's supposed to do. Again, I had this crisis of confidence. So despite that, I didn't know for certain if my preferred trading style and the money management approach was optimal. Now, coincidentally, around the same time, I'd also started a more algorithmic, data-driven trading approach. And that's just a fancy way of saying I was trying to firm up the strategy, partly because of the start of those experiences, but just to try and get more definition on what I was doing. But more importantly, I found a good programmer that I could trust to take all the trading rules, the concepts, the ideas, and convert them into the language of the computer software that I prefer to use. And there's lots out there, so I don't see the need to name any, but there's plenty to choose from. So combining the is it the strategy question with my then painfully frustrating situation, I was able to answer the question and know with certainty that no, I wasn't going mad, and the trading strategy that I use with the money management I like to use to support the lifestyle that I want to live for the first time ever categorically was confirmed, validated and backed by hard data. The rules are firmed up with a little spit and polish here and there, and quite literally at the click of a button, I can look back over 20-year historical performance, and a chart can be presented to me and all the fancy data that comes along with such reports that get presented to me at the click of a button, which validates the right rules and the right markets, the ideal candidates for the way that I want to trade. And more importantly, I can push aside the ones that maybe don't work, or they're not right for the way that I want to trade. And overnight, I went from wanting to quit to having crystal clear clarity on what I should be trading and when I should be trading it with zero subjectivity. And it was because of being able to answer these three questions. Is it me? Is it the markets? Is it the strategy? And I can investigate further if I didn't have a sufficient answer. My attention in this case was pointed towards it was me, I recognized that. And is it the strategy? In this case, I didn't know the answer, so I went and found answers by trying to define what I was doing, when I was doing it, and why I was doing it with more clarity. And that's what you can do, because not knowing for certain that is it the strategy, or is it you that's causing a rough patch in performance, or is it temporary market conditions that we simply need to be patient and sit through until the good times start rolling? If we don't know the answers to those questions, then it makes what to do next a little bit more difficult. So what can you do to get similar clarity? It's simple. Most of the time, you just need to refine your strategy further. Make every decision that you could make or should make into a binary decision. This helps to remove the discretion and make a clinical, repeatable decision. Well, it makes it repeatable. You can make the same decision under similar circumstances again today, tomorrow, next week, and next month, so that you have this replicatable process. If this, then that. And I refer to what I do now as a production line for that very reason. So if I have a no decision, I consider it like quality control, to stick with the metaphor. You quite literally shove the rejected trade idea back into the recycler. And if you have a yes decision, you move it along to the next step and the next step and the next step until you get a completed product, or in this case, a completed trade idea that the only thing left to do is to click confirm and send. That is time tested, proven, and backed by as much data as you can shake a stick at. So 3 questions you should always be asking yourself. Is it me? Is it the markets? Or is it the strategy? Now, I'm getting together with a few traders who want to plug into a proven production line trading process later this week, every week for that matter, for the next few weeks. This is a simple rule-based system that is proven, profitable, and repeatable. It takes just 30 minutes a day, a few times per week. And if you'd like to join us, then let's start the conversation. I don't know if it's right for you until we get the conversation started. Shoot me an email, phil@antivestor.com, and we'll take it from there. And if it is right, we can talk a bit more, and if it's not right, that's okay too. I'll always point you off in the right direction. I've got a lot of time for serious traders, and I fully appreciate that not every trading style is right for everyone, and at the very least, I'll help navigate you for the right thing for what you're looking for. So there's only one thing left for me to say, and that's to say thank you. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention. It's the most precious thing that anyone can give me, so thank you for joining me in your earballs. Have a wonderful day. I'll speak to you at the same time next time. Toodaloo Trader. Keep in mind that futures, options on futures, stocks and stock option trading involves a degree of risk that may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is no guarantee of future performance. Antivestor provides educational information and does not provide financial advice.